This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
I'm Mike Hebert, owner of Cantex Roofing and Construction. Every day is game day, and we'll get it right when it comes to your roofing, construction, windows, and mirrors. Call Cantex Roofing and Construction today. Together, we are one serving you.
This is a sobering statistic going into your Big 12 home opener. Do you know what your record is in the last 10 games, whether you've played at home or away?
In Big 12 play?
In Big 12 openers.
Oh.
Big 12 openers, your last 10 openers, from 2014 to 2023. Do you know what your record is just for the opening game?
I do not.
3-7.
That's not very good.
No. No, it's not. Now, last year you lost at West Virginia 20-13. You beat Texas the year before. That's the Donovan Smith 37-34, win in overtime. Lost at Texas in 2021 70-35. Ouch. Lost to Texas in 2020, COVID year. Should have won this game. Pooch kick cost you the game. 63-56. Shockingly, in 2018, you won at Oklahoma State 41-17. Mm-hmm. Think about that. Did we think that we were Lafayette, we were here, woohoo, we're flying high, or was that just, man, Oklahoma State's really bad?
I think we thought you played really well that day.
Yeah. Had a win over Kansas, had a loss to TCU in 2015. They were number 3 at the time, but you lost to them 55-52. And then in 2014, lost it, then number 24, Oklahoma State, 45-35. So I'm going to a lunch today. It's a non-athletic lunch today, Jamie.
Okay.
The headline or the topic is the state of Texas Tech. Okay. The chancellor's going to speak. The president's going to speak. I'm sure there'll be others that will speak, and they'll talk about the academic and business side. I don't think this is a touch on athletic side. But if you were to say state of Texas Tech football or a state of Texas Tech athletics right now, is there a common denominator or a theme or something you go, state of Texas Tech football is X, or the state of Texas Tech athletics is X? Good, up in the air, trending down, keeping pace?
Trying to figure it out in today's college landscape.
I think that's fair. Mm-hmm. I think that's fair. And some sports are figuring it out, maybe feel like they have a better handle on that than others, right?
Yeah, I think with our collective and all that, I think that we've shown that we have a decent handle on it. I don't think that we're behind everybody or anything like that. I think everybody's trying to figure it out at this point.
Yeah, no, I think you're exactly right on that. Somebody says could have gone without knowing that stat, Chuck. Yeah, probably so. You're probably. But we're here to bring you the good, the bad, and the ugly. And sometimes it all kind of rears its head early. But I just kind of saw that, and it's like, wow, that was. I think of the sports, and let's just say football, basketball, baseball. Okay, let's just stick within those. I think that football kind of has the map in terms of where they think they're going, okay? In terms of, hey, this is where we are today. This is where we're heading. Where this is the road that we need to take to it. I think theirs is pretty clearly defined. And I think you could say the same thing about men's basketball. I think they have a very clear picture of where they're going and what they're doing and what they're headed to. And I think men's basketball actually might be a little ahead on the roadmap.
Yeah, maybe so.
I
can buy into that.
I was reading a story yesterday because a lot was made of. I thought this was funny. Adrian Wojnarowski is leaving ESPN. He's an insider. Basically, he's a gossip guy. Okay, he's a gossip guy. And which is fine. I mean, you need them. I mean, people like the Woj bombs and all that kind of stuff. I kind of got tired of that. I kind of got Woj bomb. I'm kind of glad we don't have to hear about that anymore. Okay, I kind of got sick of that, to be quite honest with you. Just the whole.
Where were you hearing this?
Just on ESPN and various commentators. Colin Cowherd. Well, we're gonna have a Woj bomb today. I don't have to hear that anymore.
What bombs did he drop?
Players going to sign here. Or
which one? Like what one?
I just didn't
in
like
the history of all time.
I don't know. I just got tired of the term. Okay,
I'm blown away of how big of a national story this was yesterday.
I know, me too. Right.
I've heard the name. I barely know who the dude is.
I know who he is because again, you couldn't, you couldn't. Probably shouldn't say skin a dead cat without running into Adrian.
I don't think you should.
But anyway, I just felt like you couldn't. But what's interesting is he's going to be the, quote, general manager of St. Bonaventure. And in this article on CBS Sports, it talks about how the headline is, Why Colleges Hire GMs. And it says it's become a new trend for college basketball programs. And it's critical to navigate the landscape of college basketball and NIL and recruiting and retention. That's from the St. Bonnie coach. And then it talks about how it's joined programs like GW and Boston College, Arizona, and Wyoming. And here's why Texas Tech is ahead of the game in basketball. In this article, it says Duke may have been the first to put a name on it when it hired longtime executive Rachel Baker. But programs like St. John's and Texas Tech were ahead of the curve, too. And that was really more Grant McCaslin than the previous coaches when he came here. Okay. I did not expect to read that when I saw that in there. I'm like, oh, hey, how about that? That's pretty good. Somebody recognizes the fact that this program is, because I think the men's basketball program stays under the radar. And I think it stays under the radar on purpose until the games are being played. And then they kind of let things do what they do.
Heck, we don't even have a schedule yet. That's how way under the radar they are. They're just going to, hey, we're just going to maybe play on Friday.
Today's the day.
For the fourth day in a row.
No, I did not say it was yesterday. I did not say it was Tuesday. I said Monday. I heard it was going to be this week. It's got to be today. It's got to be today. Going to get in the way of the NFL today. Anyway, I just thought that was interesting.
Oh, yes. Everybody's just dying for that Pats-Jets game.
Right.
Yeah, who cares about Tech basketball? The Pats are on.
Your daily dose of sports and fun. This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3. Presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
1931 is where we will start. Lefty Grove wins his 30th game of the season. This one over the White Sox, 2-1.
Why don't we hear that very often anymore? We don't
30-game wins or Lefty Grove?
No, just lefty, like Lefty Heinz, because I'm left-handed, or Lefty Level. He's left-handed.
Well, this is Texas. If you get called a lefty, it's not a good thing.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I only refer to lefties as pitchers.
Yeah.
I mean, even a left-handed outfielder, I don't call him a lefty.
Yeah, okay. Lefty.
Yeah, I think that's just me. I mean, I'm not saying that. Yeah, I don't think people you refer to just common folk, lefty or righty, do they?
No, I don't think so. Common folk, no.
Well, non-pitchers, right?
Right. But I mean, we got pitchers out there.
Maybe a quarterback.
We're littered with pitchers out there that are left-handed. Nobody goes by lefty anymore. Like Lefty Smith. Lefty Smith on the hill today. Nope.
As opposed to Righty Smith. So we're all confused. 1973, Frank Robinson of the Angels homers in his record 32nd Major League Baseball park. You guys want to guess which one it was? 73.
73. That was been an American League park, obviously.
It was an American League park.
Was it Kansas City?
It was not Kansas City.
Because it was a new stadium that year. That's why I said that.
This would be Arlington Stadium against the Rangers.
Yeah, I should have said that because that was relatively new for as well.
On this day in 1970, also on this day in 73, the National League refuses to allow the San Diego Padres to move to Washington, D.C. You will stay there in San Diego to enjoy that beautiful weather and like it.
Why would you want to move from San Diego to D.C.?
1988, American diver Greg Louganis smashes his head on the diving board during the 3-meter springboard preliminaries at the Seoul Olympics. He recovers to qualify for the final, which he wins the following day.
Surprising more of those guys don't do that. But man, that precision diving, synchronized diving, the platform diving, all that stuff that's must watch. The platform diving is much watch TV for me in the Olympics. Every 4 years. Yeah, every 4 years. Yeah.
2004, the NFL Oakland Raiders wide receiver Jerry Rice ends an NFL streak of 274 consecutive games with a reception in a 13-10 victory over the Buffalo Bills. 274 straight games of getting a catch.
What year was that?
This was 2004.
2004.
And in 2015, Patrick Mahomes accounts for 3 touchdown passes as Texas Tech remained unbeaten with a 35-24 non-conference win over reeling Arkansas, leading to this moment.
I just think the physicality, that's a program that prides themselves on being physical. And the Texas High School Coaches Convention this summer, he stood up and said, if you don't play with a fullback, we'll kick your ass. If you throw it 70 times a game, we'll kick your ass. And he just got his ass kicked twice in a row, and probably next week by A&M as well. So that did feel good.
That's as bold as probably he was ever after a post game.
Period. Yeah. Ever.
Mm-hmm. I was sitting in the front row there in the little tiny room there in Arkansas, and so I was literally, I don't know. I'm telling you, I could reach out and touch him. And I just remember having my head down like I normally do and listening, and all of a sudden it was like, whoa, Cliff, you're fired up.
You knew it was going to be big when he walked out in the suit with the boutonnieres.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because normally he'd just walk in with whatever he was wearing for the game. He cleaned up, knew this was going to be on ESPN, wanted to make a point with it, and absolutely did.
It was all about the year before when they came in here.
Yeah,
Brett Bielema.
Cliff wasn't caught not dressed well very often.
No, but
I mean, it was extra. It was extra.
This was extra.
I agree.
I mean, for a post game, because usually for a post game, he was
just getting on a plane and riding back.
Yeah, or coming, like at home, just coming in and boom.
Yeah. Happy National Butterscotch Pudding Day.
Out. No,
thank you.
That's not my favorite, but I'll enjoy some. Happy birthday, former Red Raider basketball player Alan Voskuhl, 38.
38, wow.
Dude could shoot it.
He could.
Jimmy Fallon is 50. Trey Young, are we done being mad at him? I mean, I never was, but I'm just checking.
I'm not a fan, but I never was mad at him.
Well, he's 26 today, so be nice to him.
Were you mad at him because he didn't come here, or were you?
I'm not mad at him.
I'm not mad at him.
Yeah.
Jeremy
his dad
Irons
is one of my favorite Red Raider basketball players ever.
Yeah. Jeremy Irons, 76. Marshall Henderson is 34. Trey Wingo, 61. George Springer Dinger, 35. And Jim Abbott is 57.
He was left-handed.
Which is good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Also one-handed.
I know, but he was,
that's why it was good.
The one hand he had was left-handed, though. God, that was just the most amazing damn thing, Throw that ball, put the ball.
Yeah, it was.
I mean, just the perseverance that he had is, I'm just incredibly respectful of.
And on this day, 1959, in one of the more surreal moments in the history of the Cold War, Soviet leader Mikhail Khrushchev explodes with anger when he learns that he cannot visit Disneyland. The incident marked the climax of his trip to Los Angeles.
I do remember. Government
authorities feared that the crowds would pose a safety hazard for the premiere. Still fumbling from the debate that happened earlier, he was still upset, and he would say, "I would very much like to go and see Disneyland, but then we cannot guarantee your security." They say. Then what must I do? Commit suicide? I don't know why that would have helped. What is it? Is there an epidemic of cholera there or something? Or have the gangsters taken a hold of the place and they can destroy me? Khrushchev would actually leave Los Angeles the next morning.
This was like 1959, right?
That would be when this was, yes.
Yeah. Wow.
So, that's this day of sports history.
Okay, so yesterday, guys, if I can hijack that last 3 minutes here.
Sure.
Yesterday, I caught the end of the Family Feud.
Okay.
And the last question, I want to see if you guys can get the answers. There's 10 answers. The last question was, and I'm trying to remember how he put it, name a famous professional athlete that you think is superhuman. Okay? So there are 10 answers on the board. Let's see how many you can get. There's a reason that I
Is LeBron James on that list?
There's one.
Okay.
Bo
He
Jackson.
was number 10. No.
They didn't put Bo on that. This list is already invalid.
Shaquille O'Neal.
Shaquille O'Neal is on there. There's
And
2.
I'm winning
He
the
was
Family
he
Feud
was
here.
number 8.
Okay. Superhuman. Is this a current Family Feud or is this Richard Dawson Family Feud?
It's
No,
a
this is
current
current.
Okay.
Kevin Durant.
No.
Need a football player. Is Patrick Mahomes on this list?
Patrick Mahomes is number 9. That's kind of why I brought it up. I just thought it was so cool that Patrick Mahomes was on this list. Okay, so you've got 10, 9, and 8.
That's pretty good. I mean, I got 3.
Messi.
No.
Jeff is out.
One guy guessed Gronk.
Tom Brady.
Tom Brady is number 2. Mm-hmm. Chuck's got 4.
Name one of my answers that wasn't good.
How about Aaron Judge?
No.
Wow,
That's a good one.
I actually think that because he's so big,
Yeah.
that I thought that would have been an answer,
Superhuman,
but
right?
not. Yeah.
Oh, Shohei Ohtani.
Nope.
No Shohei Ohtani.
Okay, you just want me to give you the rest of them?
Sure.
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm done.
How are you guys not guessing Michael Jordan?
Okay. Well,
He's number 1.
Okay.
Okay, didn't say current. Okay. Number 3. I'm sorry, there were only 8 of them. Not 10. I'm sorry, there were only 8. Number 3, Simone Biles. Number 4, David Beckham. And here's the joke. Number 5, The Rock.
Well,
So you had 6, 7, and 8, not 8, 9, and 10. Shaq, Mahomes, LeBron are the last 3. I just thought it was super cool that Patrick Mahomes
And I
was
had
listed.
number 2 with Brady.
Yeah, but I just thought it was super cool that
Mahomes
Patrick's was on the
crazy.
Family Feud, and that made me smile. And so I thought you guys would
Yeah, I
get a
love
kick out
that.
of it.
That is awesome. You know, if they asked him that today, he'd be like, "Really about the Family Feud?" I think
He probably would think
The
that's
Morning
cool.
Drive
Yeah, I
podcast from
agree.
Double T 97.3 is presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
The Morning Drive. We'll have Ranger Baseball on the air for you today at 1 on 100.7 The Score. Monterey High School football tonight at 6:30, as that will come to you from Odessa High, the Broncos from Rattler Stadium there in Odessa. I always think of Permian when I think of that, and it's like they're just visitors. The Odessa High team, they're just visitors all the time.
I'm sure they love that.
I know, I'm sure they do. They got the Permian Panther print and all that kind of stuff. I hope they still have the black, street signs down there for Permian, little mojo. I always loved that. I think that's really cool. We'll have Red Raider football with Joey McGuire tonight. That'll be from 6 to 7. He should be in a really good mood because his team won last Saturday. He's always in a good mood. I think it's probably hard to find him in a bad mood.
I think we saw some of that
Yeah.
after Washington State.
Yeah, but I mean, his bad mood is like everybody else's good mood, And then we'll have Jets and the Patriots. Do you buy into the Aaron Rodgers thing at all with the Jets? Do you see them as a
That he's a buffoon? Yes, I've definitely bought into that. That he talks too much, that he creates too much drama, and that do I wish that he would just shut up and play football?
okay?
Yeah, I buy into all that.
Okay, and then is he gonna make them a playoff team?
No, he's helped out by the fact that Tua's hurt. I think that changes the fortunes of the Dolphins a little bit this year.
Yeah.
It's possible. Yeah. I think they might be a playoff team.
I don't see any games of significance on the college slate tonight. Tomorrow there's a top 25 matchup with number 24 Illinois taking on number 22 Nebraska. Both those teams undefeated. Okay, that's a Big Ten matchup. That'll be tomorrow at 7 o'clock. I get this. Ooh, wow. A former Odessa High school football player is not very happy with me and my quote glazing of Permian.
Shocked.
I've never heard that word. Why are you glazing them? Never heard that. It's like Jamie introduced me something today, and I thought it was just people taking pictures with selfies and not taking the time to edit with like hats that are spelled backwards and shirts that are spelled backwards. I didn't realize that was the thing.
Well, I don't know. It's backwards. It's upside down.
Upside down. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's upside down.
Okay.
Like you'll see Texas Tech written on a hat, upside down.
Okay.
I'm like, why would you want that? Is that so when you do a cartwheel,
Yeah.
it's straight up? I don't understand. It's a new little fashion thing going on.
Yeah.
I don't get it. I guess I'm missing with the point, I guess.
Sure, right. And maybe it's
But I'm pretty square, so.
Maybe it's for them to be talked to. Syntax Hake says this: good morning, time for me to be a jerk. Okay. ASU's main campus is in Tempe, not Phoenix. Yeah, we've said Tempe. When I lived in Chandler, Arizona in the 80s, you could start a fight by saying I was in Phoenix. Okay. Syntax Hank, he's fired up. He's ready for the ball game. He's ready for some of those Arizona State people to come in here. This with regard to Texas Tech football, and
but they're not far away.
Yeah, right. They're not far away. I see it as Jekyll and Hyde. Who shows up? This other person says, not sure I will know what kind of team we have until the end of the season.
Well, which one is Jekyll? Is that the good person? And Hyde is the bad person?
Yes, it's Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Mr. Hyde's the quote-unquote monster.
Okay, so I would tell you, if you are betting on when Jekyll is going to show up and when Hyde is going to show up.
Hyde's on the road.
Hyde's on the road and Jekyll will be at home.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the fun one is that we need to figure out is which one is Frankenstein and which one is Frankenstein's monster. Because then you get in the deep conversation of people think that Frankenstein is the monster when people who have actually know the story know that Frankenstein is the monster. Because it's Dr. Frankenstein created the monster, and that as opposed to the guy that was just walking around. There's a whole deep thought that you can get into on that.
You follow all that?
Unfortunately, I think I got.
I did not.
I think I got.
Chuck is smarter than I am.
I just got the gist of it. Frankenstein really is who I prefer from the movie. That's what they called him.
Okay.
That was,
Frankenstein?
Frankenstein, yeah. Remember that? Yeah, it was what movie was that? That was Gene Wilde. That was a Gene Wilde movie. They called him Frankenstein.
Oh,
it was him and.
Well, I watched Bram Stoker's Dracula, and they didn't call him Frankenstein.
They did. I mean, in this movie, he was Frankenstein. Yeah. Maybe this is from Bobby Hot Dogs. Maybe Jamie can get Chuck and Clint matching hats that say Missouri upside down. Yeah. Maybe so.
Well, here's the thing. Clint's actually from Kansas, so I don't think he'd wear the Missouri hat.
Right, yeah. There is that. 7:20 this morning here on the morning drive.
He's poking that bear, Chuck.
I know. Yeah, it's not gonna let it go. So I mean, I don't really just get. I think you have to respect Arizona State. I don't get overwhelmed by it, but I think you want to avoid getting overwhelmed because I think they're coming. They have to be coming in here with a lot of confidence. I mean,
sure.
They got to be coming in here going, "Hey, you know what? All these naysayers out there, all these Debbie Downers, all these negative Nancys, all these fill in the blank, whatever word you want to use. They said we're going to finish 16th in the Big 12. Well, hey, guess what, buddy boy? We're 3-0."
If you wanted to, though, couldn't you also go to the flip side and go, oh, yeah, look at this Arizona State team. They think they're on top of the world. They're 3-0. They think they can beat anybody. They're probably, everybody there. And let me get this straight. Tempe is patting them on the back, and
right.
so they think they're all that. And they think, oh, look at this Red Raider team. They got crushed by Washington State. We're going to, we beat an SEC team in Mississippi State. We're going to roll these guys.
Yeah, they're just little old Texas Tech, out here in the middle of nowhere. We're gonna go there. We're gonna beat them. Then we'll be home in time for the big parties tonight.
Sure.
University Drive, I believe, is what they call that. It's the big main strip there.
They probably get home and they all go hike that mountain that's right there above the football stadium. No. That's the coolest thing. We need a mountain next to our football stadium.
I mean, it is cool to see that. It is, and I'm just really not shaking in my boots over Sam Levitt either. I mean, maybe I should be from a
I think it's
standpoint.
More scars of the past.
Sure, it is.
Especially that game at Washington State where their quarterback ran all over you. So you're a little bit nervous about that. Yeah, and he's not the first quarterback that's had his day running against the Red Raiders.
We've been run over by the best and the worst of the running quarterbacks. Over the years. I mean, it feels like. So, I mean, I guess on one hand, not overwhelmed, but on the other hand, you're playing a team with confidence versus a team that I think is trying to gain its confidence or solidify its confidence or say to themselves, we did it once, can we do it again?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. So can I just backtrack real quick?
Absolutely.
And ask you a different question?
Certainly.
Okay. So if you are the course of history, if you were thinking about the Red Raiders struggling with running quarterbacks, if you were to pick one or two that like epitomize it, who are you thinking?
One of the guys from K-State, Colin
Klein.
Colin Klein. I think he's the poster child of it for me. Not because he went to K-State, but just it feels like he was one of those guys in a long line that you felt like you had stopped and contained, and he slipped away from you.
I think two guys for me. Avery Johnson at K-State would be one.
Recency, right?
Yeah, but it just felt like like every time he ran
sure.
for a touchdown.
No question.
Did he have 5 rushing touchdowns against us?
At least, yeah.
Yeah. And then the other one is Seneca Wallace of Iowa State.
Okay, yeah, that's fair too.
Yeah, that's the guy that jumps out at me.
I just remember their basketball guy that came in here, Marcus, was it? He was like top 5 NBA draft choice.
Marcus Fizer?
Marcus Fizer, yeah. And when he came in here, it was
by
like
the Bulls in the first round.
It was like a senior in high school playing against the Pips. I mean, it was just like
he was a big dude.
I mean, he
wasn't super tall. Didn't have a great NBA career at all.
No, but I mean, it was men versus little boys that night.
The Morning Drive podcast from Double T 97.3 is presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
Okay, guys. Earlier today, somebody on the Yates Flooring Center chat line said they're shocked that it's already 1 month into the season.
Mm-hmm.
So my question for you guys today, and our fine listening audience, is what are you surprised about with Texas Tech football this year? What has surprised you?
I don't know if this is going to...
This can be positive or negative.
I don't know if this is going to fall into the surprised aspect. I think I'm surprised at how the youth of this team, specifically defensively, has kind of showed itself early on with the inconsistency of how you've played or maybe how you're growing as it's gone. Because I think we, when I say we, I mean me, I think I took too much of we got a lot of depth. Well, we do have a lot of depth. We got a lot of depth on offensive line, too. The problem is it's all extremely young, and I think we weren't alert of that enough to think that could be a problem.
Chuck's got a good answer on with the defensive and defense and the lack of their production from what we've seen the last 2 years under McGuire and DeRuyter. But to pivot from that, since that I don't want to say that's been taken off the board, but to give a different answer, I'm surprised how well Baron Morton's played. I know that he's finally healthy, but I wasn't expecting him to have the day against North Texas in the first half that he did. Like, if he'd played the whole game, I wouldn't have expected those numbers necessarily, especially when all summer long all we heard was we're going to give the ball to Taj Brooks. Well, if you're giving the ball to Taj Brooks, those don't count for passing yards. Those don't count for throws. Those are handoffs to your running back who's doing still really good things. I know he didn't have a great game against Washington State, but his play overall has been surprising.
I don't know how far back it was, Jeff, but how far back was it that you said you thought there should be an open quarterback competition this year?
Before the season ended last year.
Before the season ended.
And I also said Morton could be the answer, but I don't want him to be the de facto answer.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it needs to be a competition. Go find somebody that can push him.
Feels like there was no competition.
Well, yeah, I don't think they brought anybody in to do that, and I was a little annoyed at that.
I don't think there was competition this year. I don't think there was competition last year.
I don't think there's been competition since Joey McGuire's been on staff, but that's what I wanted, was somebody to come to go get somebody in the portal and push for that starting position.
Yeah, I think both those are good answers. I don't know that my answer is completely fair because the sample size is not massive. Mm-hmm. Obviously, we've just had 3 games, 2 of them at home and 1 of them on the road, but I guess I would just say I'm just surprised at how different you are offensively at home compared to on the road. And again, I know this was who you were the last 2 years. I just feel like we would have figured it out by now. And again, Taj Brooks didn't play on the road. That's a huge factor.
Yeah, and I think that game is different because I don't think Barron tries to do too much, and he's not come out and said that. It's just been made,
I don't think he tried to do too much. I just think he was inaccurate
or pressed.
Maybe he was just bad. Mm-hmm. I didn't feel like he was forcing throws or anything like that. Yeah, but it's just he was inaccurate.
Yeah, he just didn't. Whether it's he felt the pressure or whatever it was. Okay. This
again, mine's somewhat not fair because you've only played one road game, but I was just compared to what we've seen offensively from this team in the first and third game of the season. I mean, you were just nowhere near that in the second game.
And let's hope you get to Saturday and go, okay, man, it looks like this team is clicking, and we know it's clicking. I guess it's kind of when we see it. I mean, to me, clicking is not bogging down in the red zone and settling for field goals offensively, not having to go for it on fourth down every single drive or multiple times within a drive, and then defensively, it's like, can you hold them to, under 350 yards total offense? Can you keep the quarterback from hitting the century mark against you? Skadabo, the same thing. Can you keep a receiver from, hurting you, whether they're deking you or taking a short, pass play into a 75-yard touchdown run? I think that's kind of what I'm looking for. I'm looking for it to click like.
I think it clicked last week.
Yes, I agree.
I think you saw all aspects of the game.
But can you do it 2 weeks in a row? Because you're going to have a more formidable opponent.
To me, that's not my question. My question is, can you do it on the road?
Okay, I got you.
Yeah, you can do it 3 weeks in a row. I'm still going to be worried about the Arizona game.
Yeah.
Because you've just shown that you're a different offense on the road.
No matter, should we hypnotize them?
I don't know.
Do we need a Culandera to go over there on the
who?
Culandera. It's like a witch doctor, they're kind of.
No, I think we should keep the witch doctors away.
No, but for the road game, like.
What if we had some really big
sprinkle some incense and
fans?
Stuff like that?
What if we put some really big fans on our sideline and make them think like it's the wind blowing, like it does in Lubbock or something?
Possibly. Mm-hmm.
A bunch of really nice people behind the bench just saying polite things to them because everybody in Lubbock it's full of nice people.
Oh yeah. I hear plenty of nice things behind me, on my east side excursion.
Are they talking about the team or are those directed at you?
Not directed at me. No, not directed at me.
Nobody yells, "Sit down, Heinz."
No, sometimes people.
We already know what we're doing here.
You're right. You're right. There's a lot of that. Yeah, I heard you. You're spot on, Chuck. There's a lot of that, Jamie.
Is there a lot of that?
Yeah, a lot of that. Well, you told us. Kind of that head nod. Yeah, you told us.
Well, none of that goes on in the press box.
I know. Were you guys? Have you guys been good? Had good behavior in the press box this year?
You'd have to ask the Texas Tech folks.
Okay. You haven't gotten too wild or crazy or anything like that?
Well, I wasn't there the last time. So.
Okay, so you don't know. You weren't monitoring.
The first one it had its challenges.
Okay, well, you got a lot of talkative people. Because everybody talks for a living, so it's hard to act like you're in the library up there. Which is,
it's not. It's really not. I don't find it difficult at all.
I know you don't, but I would. 7:40 this morning.
This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
With Jamie Lent and Jeff McGuire, I'm Chuck Heinz. Great to have you with us today on the Morning Drive. Come to you from the First United Bank studio. Look forward to hearing from you on the Yates Flooring Center chat line and to get caught up on some of that. We'll have Tech Talk on location today at Twin Peaks. Okay, so be looking for those fellers today. Let's see here. We've gotten one earlier this morning, and I'm disappointed to hear that it's already unavailable. Bullfighter reports in. Remember yesterday we talked about the scavenger hunt for the Texas Rangers? Okay. Mm-hmm. He said update was going to look for them when he went to Arlington this weekend. Unfortunately, they've all been found.
Not surprised.
Yeah.
Just figuring out how valuable they could be.
Mm-hmm.
There would be plenty of folks like that.
Well, there are plenty of suitors, yeah.
Yeah.
Plenty of people looking. Bobby Hot Dogs, with all of the random construction sites that Chuck walks up on to chat out the workers on their progress, I think that Chuck would be a masterful Lego assemblyman. No.
Like a foreman, right?
Yeah, foreman.
Where he stands and tells people that, hey, put that Lego piece there.
But you got to tell them what to do and where to put it.
That's right.
I don't think I would be very good at that.
They'd probably tell you where to put it.
There's definitely a lot of that. There's no question that I probably would come back here with black eyes and bandaged up shoulder and arms and things like that. So
yeah, I would tell you. I mean, those again, it's got to be something that you enjoy. But building those really big Lego sets. I mean, if you're someone
I thought you were going to talk about a skyscraper.
Yeah, no, if you're someone that enjoys that kind of things, those stadium ones are really cool to put together.
And then do you have them on display?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Somewhat.
Least shocking thing is Chuck lacks patience for direction. Yeah.
But you don't like to read directions for anything, right? Like to put a bike together.
No, I'm having it put
Chuck
together.
doesn't ever go to YouTube and figure out how to fix something off of YouTube.
I just want to put a screwdriver through my head. Somebody.
I'm sorry for bringing it up.
No, I mean, it just says to me, you can YouTube that, sir. I'm like, no. How much will it cost me for you to come out and fix that for me at my house? That's
right. That's right. Just make it rain, right?
Well, I mean, something like that. I mean, just, kind of come in and, I can only do so much at a time. I mean, there's only so much, cashline, You
want to hire me as like your full-time handyman? You can build like a extra house or, room for me to live in, and I can just take care of all the stuff at your house for you.
Would you really want to live with me and the lucky lady? I mean, would you?
No.
I didn't think you did.
I could just drive over.
You could drive. You could drive over. You could drive over. Does anything excite you on the schedule for tonight? Astros, Angels, Monterey, Odessa, Pats, Jets,
Tech, soccer in Utah.
Okay.
That really excites me.
Sounds like you're attending that.
I am attending that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have a special sideline pass or parking place or something like that to accommodate your needs?
No.
Is this where we tell Chuck if he were to go to the soccer match, he could stand sideline?
Yeah. Why don't you come stand with me?
I got stuff going on tonight. I really do.
Instead of going to pregame stuff, go to sports stuff.
I'm getting knowledge tidbits from Joey McGuire.
Tom Stone would tell you'll get knowledge from watching his team play too.
He gives you all the good stuff because he secretly texts you. And
maybe he'll secretly text you if you go to his soccer game.
I'm not on his list.
Well, go to his games and maybe.
Yeah. Not on his list. Hey,
I don't think that's why he texts me.
I was listening. Sounds like all I do is listen to pre and post game shows, but
well, if the shoe fits.
Again, Chuck? What was the question of the day? Was your favorite day of the year, or what was it?
What are your 3 favorite sporting days of the year? Something like that.
One was Selection Sunday.
Yeah.
Selection Sunday. I thought that was more than one. Was like when it wasn't about games.
It was Selection Sunday. It was...
What was the other one?
Bullfighter when you need
the because it was right before we were ranking where these days match. And what would you put with these days? And it was like the kickoff luncheon was that day or something.
Yeah, that's what it was. There was
at Business Expo.
Kickoff luncheons and breakfasts in Selection Sunday, not Super Bowl Sunday.
Right, 'cause that's an all
Or not the first day of the NCAA tournament, just Selection Sunday.
Yeah.
That's weird to me.
But it's on brand for Chuck. It works.
New listener.
Hey, did you see this? Or because we did not talk about it, and I was surprised because he was on yesterday. I'm like, well, I'll be interested to hear what he's got to say. Chris Young was on the Ranger pregame show yesterday. Okay, and they talked about he's been extended with his role as he was promoted to president of baseball operations last Friday. The new title apparently does not change his day-to-day duties. He said the Rangers are not committed to, nor have they ruled out backfilling the general manager position. Leadership changes and additions will be sorted out in the offseason if necessary. I mean, he's real excited about staying there. He cites the Rangers as his hometown team. He cites himself as a Metroplex guy. He said his goal was to win a World Series. Okay, check that off. And now would like to get back there because I think sometimes these guys that win one, they're like all of a sudden they're hungry. It's like I heard Nick Saban talking the other day. You know, he allowed himself basically 24 hours to celebrate that national championship. And he said usually by the middle of the night, he goes, I was thinking about our roster for next year. I mean, part of me is appreciative of that and the focus of that, and then part of me is like sad for that, that you can't enjoy it just a little bit. I think the Rangers have enjoyed their World Series title. I think they really have.
Yeah, but I don't think that's out of the norm, right? I mean, let's just talk about you as a World Series winning salesman, right? Mm-hmm. You're like, man, I'm killing it right now in September. I'm doing really well, man. I'm at 125% of my budget or whatever. But you're thinking, oh man, October though, I'm only at 48% right now. I got to get to work on October, right?
No, it's never.
That's the same thing.
I suffer from that disease of never good enough. But I can assure you of this: if I was the winning football coach for a national championship team, you'd probably hear that every day.
I'm thinking to myself right now, I've been great for 2 hours today, but man, how am I going to bring it tomorrow? How am I going to be good again on Friday?
This has been the Morning Drive Podcast, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction. Check out our library of Double T 97.3 podcasts at doublet97.3.com.